Hello guys, what is up? And welcome back to What If Luffy Had Yuno's Powers, Part 12, named Ace. I would yell it like Luffy does, but I don't have that lung capacity. But you guys do get what's gonna happen. And this is when it happens. This is when Luffy unlocks Star Magic, and it's gonna be pretty fun. And then the time skip comes, and y'all can look forward to how things are gonna play out. But I like that this series, weirdly, despite having 12 parts, is not being relegated to like a side thing. People are still in love with this series a lot, and I appreciate y'all for that. I don't know how y'all are still doing it. One Piece is long as hell. I'm taking really long to finish up the parts, but y'all are still here waiting, and I appreciate that a lot. So I hope you will like this part. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all my future videos. Go check out my second channel. I'm posting a new video, a new series. What if Deku had Lucifero's powers? It's a pretty basic type series, but I'm gonna explore a different aspect of my hero there. So if y'all want to see some slightly darker stuff or just things with undertones in it, then just go check it out. And of course, sub and help me reach 1K once again on another channel just to prove how awesome I am. I'm joking, but we know I'm awesome. All right, let's get into the recap because I do that now again. We last began with Luffy telling the crew a bit about his backstory, but in response to this, much to his surprise, they all agree not to go with him to Impel Down and instead decide to split up. Using Luffy's grimoire, Nami found some places for them all to train until they meet up again, and they agree to disband the crew, and Luffy drops them all off. But as Zoro is dropped off, he's met by Mihawk, and while trying to control Zephyr, the sword gifted with Luffy's will, he would have to prove himself, I guess, to the swordsman. I didn't really talk about that part. I will later. Luffy meanwhile goes on a journey and ends up docking on the Whitebeard Pirates island, Amazon Lily, and when he wakes up he's in a stadium and there are only women, and when he goes to fly away he's attacked by the Gorgon sisters, but he becomes very preoccupied with something else as he senses 3 life forms, but they were frozen in stone. He asks Boa about this with anger filling his eyes, and the two have a clash of hockey that knocks out a lot of women. However, Elder Neon arrives and is the only one aware of who he is because the island is so closed off. They don't know that the world had a new emperor. When they hear his name, the sisters, especially Boa, are a bit shaken, telling the woman to clear the stadium, and he's invited, and he tells Boa that he even killed the Celestial with ease. So when Boa does bring him in, she tries to test him by showing him her body, and Luffy doesn't really care as he states that he looks far more beautiful than her, and then he sees her mark, the slave mark, which she knows all too well. But Luffy is trustable in the end, and he's just as mad about it as they are, but he's going to keep it a secret. He's not going to tell the other women that she has the mark. And Belle would then form, and things get even better because Boa gets to show her true self, doesn't like hold back like she usually does with her subjects. And other girls soon get to the Luffy, who later is told Boa is sick. When he goes to see her, she gets better though, shocking the other women because they realize that she was love sick. She wasn't actually sick, much like all the other empresses before her who died yearning for love. They were just trying to get some, I guess. Soon, Boa then takes Luffy to Impel Down and hides him, and they head over in a marine ship, and the Thousand Mary is kept on the Island of Women. And when Luffy gets in, he would beat up some Blueberry, meet Buggy, keep destroying his enemies with Buggy, and Buggy doesn't do crap, but they just keep breaking out into new levels. Buggy breaks out some people, such as Mr. 3, Number 3, whatever you want to call him, and they head down, and yeah, they just cause havoc. On the way, they meet Bond, who comes in on their journey, and they meet a Sphinx guard, which Luffy tames, names it Konohamaru. I like that little detail. And then they go to Infernal Hell, where Luffy meets Magellan, who tries to negotiate with bad intentions, but he knocks him back with Haki and just knocks him out. Their journey continues, and they meet the rest of the Warden's army and beat them with ease, and then they head to the Frozen Hell, where Luffy would go into a sort of sleep-like state to keep himself calm while he protects the 3 with Haki because everything is so goddamn cold where they are. And then he puts his life in Bond's hand because he trusts him. As Bond runs through the snow, he asks, "Luffy, do you by any chance know Ivankov?" "Yeah." "Just who the hell are you?" shouts Buggy. "I'm trying to concentrate," Luffy would say, and Buggy would hold his mouth shut as he apologizes, but aside from their steps of others are heard, and from the lily-white snow erupt wolves who would snarl and surround them. And because they are covered by Haki, as a side effect, Buggy, Mr. 3, and Bond, they cannot use their devil fruit right now, so they fight barehanded, not that Bond uses his ability for fighting, and Ban would be forced to kick more than usual in contrast to his usual fighting style. As he kicks one of the wolves, another will then go to bite Luffy, causing him to put up his arm in the way, and as such he gets bitten, causing him to scream before Buggy then cuts the wolf in half. Luffy will then say, "Ban, what happened?" "Nothing, just please stay focused." Luffy gains a look of worry at not being able to detect what's happening around him, but he can detect the lie, but he chooses to trust Bond for now. If you're wondering, no, he cannot use observation haki right now, so he's trying to concentrate really hard, so he's effectively blind like any other human right now. And more wolves would attack. The whimpers would follow after every time they try to attack because they're hacked to pieces and kicked away, and soon the three would end up back to back against an unrelenting pack. Buggy would say, "Hey Straw Hat, if we get out of this alive, I'm kicking your ass." Luffy considers just helping them, but then the frostbite would eventually just get him and make the fighting worse, so he decides to do something else and concentrates. When the wolves lunge at them again, a giant pulse of Conqueror's Haki would hit and knock them all out, leaving all the animals foaming at the mouth, and Mr. 3 would say, "How did you do that?" "It's the Conqueror spirit," said Buggy. "It's said to belong to people who are destined to be leaders." "Thanks for the compliment," said Luffy. "Oh, finally. Took you long enough. I apologize, young master." Inazuma, my bad, then walks out as the three then look to this man with a strange coat on, who would say, "So should I call you young master or something else?" Luffy would then open his eyes, canceling the hockey barrier, as he would then fly out of Bond's hand, saying, "Luffy will do." "Did Uncle Ivankov tell you to call me that?" "He simply said it would annoy you a bit, so why not?" said Inazuma. As Luffy laughs, you then hear the three freezing and clacking their teeth, and he apologizes. "But we're there, Bond. You want to meet the queen, right?" asked Luffy. As Bond nods, we then cut to the three standing in New Kuma, as Luffy would be meeting all the subjects of Ivankov, and they'd be saying, "So you're Luffy, you're just like she described. It's hard to believe you're really Dragon's son." Mr. 3 would then say, wait, what do you mean Dragon?" Luffy then turns saying, "Oh, Monkey D. Dragon, the revolutionary." "The what?" Their eyes would pop out from the sockets, and they were baffled at this point, with Luffy then being reminded that he needed to meet, Ivankov, so he approached and covered himself with mana while asking, "Uncle Ivan, can you just come out already?" "Oh, Luffy boy, you know how this goes." The stage in the room would then light up as the drapes would then be pulled apart, with the queen then making her entrance, as you would have a mic in hand, and the giant queen makes herself known as she jumps off the stage and is then caught by Luffy's wind. "You really just can't live normally, huh?" asked Luffy. "Of course not." He's then brought down and he would then hug Luffy, saying he had missed seeing him, and Bond would be shocked. "You're really Eva." "Yeah, you're surprised?" Luffy would ask, and Mr. 3 would say, "How did you do all this? Don't the Marines keep an eye on you at all?" "Hey, you better address the Empress Eva properly." And as Mr. 3 apologizes, Eva would then say that he will explain. A few hours pass, and while Eva explains, he says that basically they just have built a place here, like apart from the Marines. They do not know, they cannot know, but somehow they also get information on them. Like they have cameras, they look all around, impelled down, and they also give the group some food. And as they're having this whole discussion, Ace is in his cell. We're gonna go to Ace, and it is then opened up by Hannibal, who will be bandaged, as Ace would laugh at him. "He beat your ass, didn't he?" Hannibal would then kick the pirate across the face, but Ace only laughed more. "Jeez, I get it, your ego hurts. You taking me away already?" "Do you not fear death, Porcus the Ace, or have you lost your mind?" "I'm more scared of not seeing my family ever again, but he's here, isn't he?" Hearing all this, the surrounding prisoners freeze, before then starting to wonder if the Emperor of the Storms was really here, if he was just joking. After a long pause, Hannibal would then be dragging Ace out of his cell with a perplexed look, making them realize it might really be true, and Jinbei would think, "How can you truly put so much trust in one man, Ace?" Luffy, meanwhile, would be charging through the levels with Ivankov and Inazuma, Buggy, Bond, and Mr. 3, and he would now be using his wind art to carry them all. And as they ride, a wolf would attack them, but with his death wink, the queen would then knock it back, as Luffy would then say, "Hang on." As they reach the other gate for the 6th floor, Luffy would then pull back his right arm while keeping his left out, forming multiple wind arrows that would then pierce the air before then piercing the gate and allowing them to get back into a somewhat normal environment. At least they could run now, and they didn't have to feel the cold. So they do, and they keep running when they're met by Blue Gory, and Ivankov is about to death weaken when it comes to a stop and just crashes to the ground. And Ivankov would say, "Luffy." "Yes, the Conqueror Spirit," said Luffy, and this leaves Ivankov not shocked or baffled, but proud, as Luffy has always showed signs of possessing the power, and now he seemed limitlessly just strong. They keep running and running. They reach some stairs and more enemies who they wipe out, and they would take one of the enemies hostage, and they use the man to lead them to Ace's cell. With heavy breath, Luffy will look around, as do the others, but all they see is a bunch of giant like prisoners and a fishman. And instinctively, Luffy will then cut through the bars with the crescent wind, allowing Jinbei to finally meet the man Ace had propped up so much. And Ivankov then looks to the guard. You didn't lie to us, right? No, they must have taken him. Annoyed, Ivankov would then throw him to the ground. Meanwhile, Luffy would kneel to Jinbei and begin to envelop him with mana. What are you doing? He would ask. I'm healing you, calm down. As he looks at his hand, Jinbei watches his injuries disappear as if he never had any, and he would ask, Why are you doing this? And Buggy would say, yeah, what the hell? They're gonna execute Ace, don't you care? And Luffy would then laugh, asking, since when did he care? With the clown they're telling him to shut up. And Luffy, after hitting Jinbei, then breaks him out of his chain, saying, come with me, I know who you are. You can help me help Ace. Taking his hand, the warlord would then stand. So, you know my strength. Well, yeah, there's that, but why not, you know? Guys, the execution's on the way. We're gonna have to break out of here and go to Navy headquarters. I can feel them. They weigh all the way up. So we're gonna have to charge through everything. They got us, said Eva. Well, let's hurry. Are you coming, Fishman? As Jinbei runs out, the surrounding prisoners cannot believe what was happening around them, and even as giant as some of them were, they feared Luffy more than they feared almost anybody. And this is when they actually hear, hey, if you want to get out of here, I can help, Straw Hat. Or should I call you Ripper? Luffy recognizes this voice and turned to see Crocodile and would gain a murderous demeanor as the warlord would then sweat but continue to talk. I can make a hole through the levels. I don't need you for that. That's what I'm here for, said Luffy. Eva, however, says that they should bring him because it might help, considering how much Luffy's comparably weaker than his usual self, considering, you know, how much mana he's been using. It's kind of apparent that he's definitely gotten a little weak. And Luffy would say, fine, but if he tries anything, you can fix him. Hearing this, Crocodile would then ask what he knows, and he snickers, saying he'll never tell, and Eva begins to snicker as well, and the warlord would become angered as Bond asks what they're talking about. And Luffy would say, well, you see, he used to— Shut up! Shut up, or I will kill you, Straw Hat, said Crocodile. Yeah, like you actually could. You can join us, just don't piss me off, said Luffy. As the warlord scoffs, we then have our time skip as the group begin to go back the opposite way, and as such they pick up some of Eva's people and start causing a massacre, and Impel Down goes into a panic. With Jinbei being fully healed, this means his fishman karate is also at its best, but he also didn't eat any food, so he's still lacking in energy. And using his sand fruit, Crocodile makes passage through the floors easier. Crocodile finds Mr. One and recruits him. However, as they near the end of the infernal hell, a wave of darkness brushes past them, and as it blinds them, they are then all blown away. It is then all blown away by Luffy's wind to show Blackbeard. Teach, what are you doing here? Asked Jinbei. Blackbeard then said, oh, come on, don't be so. Instantly, the sound of wind pierces his ears as he is then splashed with blood, and as he looks aside, his men were cut apart. Jesus, Straw Hat, said Buggy. Instantly, Blackbeard is brought down by a gigantic hand construct as he'd be crushed to the ground. And Luffy would say, you, why did you capture Ace, you bastard? Hearing this, they all realized why he would be so angered, and instead of being angry or like, scared, Blackbeard would laugh. ZEHAHAHA. Plunging his hand into the ground, he releases darkness that blinds everyone once again, and Blackbeard would say, that's the thing, Straw Hat. Much like you help people without a second thought, I do whatever I need to win. His words are then cut off as all the darkness is then blown away by Luffy's Gear Second wind, and everything becomes visible to everyone as he gains a mark on his face and he becomes enveloped in a golden energy. Around him, however, were these strange orbs made of mana, and they all know what this form is. They recognize it a lot, but these orbs were kind of new, like they'd never seen them before. And Luffy would ask, did you really think you would beat me with some stupid darkness fruit? So you did all of this, and thought you'd just get away with it? I should have hunted you down myself. Increasing the pressure of his magic, he would then crush the pirate under the construct, ripping through the floor and killing Blackbeard in an instant, just as Bell would then form. Luffy, are you okay? Luffy would then exit the form and feel a bit tired but hides it as he puts a thumbs up. He then feels Eva touch his shoulder and he comforts him just as Belle would then tilt her head confused. Are you a man or a woman? Ah, you must be new here, said Eva. I have transcended the barriers of gender, young vengeful spirit. I'm not vengeful, said Belle. Why would I even be vengeful? Marines are so stupid. As she passed, Luffy will then laugh but says they do need to get moving again, and Crocodile would say that form of his and the spirit, it's all true. Just what is this guy? But they do have to move again, like they really have to do. And on the way they meet Magellan, who Luffy destroyed. He's just laying there. And because Luffy has mana skin, he can't be hurt. So when they step like the puddles of poison just around, he makes sure that no one else gets touched by the poison either, envelops them in mana skin until they're soon They soon reached the end, and they took a marine ship and started heading out. And like the people be saying, "Hell yeah, we made it out of that hellhole! I'm gonna go see my kids. I'm gonna get some goddamn food." And they all cheer. And when they reach the gates of justice, they actually lose hope, as these gigantic gates were the obstacle they never considered until they saw it. It was in that moment, however, when instinctively they look back to see Luffy, and they see that he was already charging on mana. And Luffy would say, "Bell." As the spirit forms, she'd be laughing and she begins to glow as does Luffy's grimoire, and in that instant, she would then go into Luffy and the pirate would smile. From the other side of the gates, a gigantic wind ray then blows everything open, leaving the other marines present wide-eyed at what just happened, and then out of the gates followed the pirates on the ship, with Luffy at the forefront while he leaves in his new form. And Crocodile would say, "Seriously, what the hell are you?" "So much power," thought Jinbei. For a second, I thought I'd be blown off to the side. "Luckily, I'm a fish man." "That's my boy," said Eva. "You ready to cause mayhem?" asked Luffy, and they would just say, "Hell yeah, let's do this." And this is when news of Whitebeard and Luffy heading to Navy headquarters reaches all of the seas, like the East Blue, North Blue, South Blue, the West Blue. They all felt something was about to happen. A war was gonna go down. However, no one knew why Luffy was coming to the war, and they thought they just wanted he just wanted a war with Whitebeard because, you know, Whitebeard is a strong man, and you know he's an emperor, and they don't know, of course, why. But yeah, just speculate, have fun with it, I guess. Meanwhile, at headquarters, the warlords would be gathered, and they would be the admirals as well. 50 warships would surround the island, and there'd be troops of 1,000 elite fighters ready to receive their enemies. However, Sengoku decided to step up and talk about something. Looking to the camera set up to capture this execution of Ace, he was going to show everyone why he broadcasted this, what was the actual reason. And he stops beside Ace, and he holds a transponder to his mouth. "Ace, what is your father's what the fuck, man? What you doing, Prince? What are you doing, bro? What are you doing, bro?" "Ace, what is your father's name?" asked Sengoku. "His father's name? What difference does it make now?" thought the Marines. "My father's name is Whitebeard." Sengoku says that isn't true, but Ace calmly reiterates that it is, and Sengoku says, "We got a word from Cypher Pole that his son might be somewhere around the East Blue." You know who I'm talking about. "We examined newborns, unborn infants, and their mothers, and yet found nothing. But that's to be expected. Your mother tricked us. She tricked all of us, and she lost her life in doing so. She held you in her stomach for 20 months. Hearing this, the Marines are horrified, wondering why someone would go so far, and this would ask, "You're really gonna say it, huh? Your father was the one who I wish was still around so I could put him behind bars. Your father was Gold D. Roger." This absolutely leaves everyone shocked, and all those watching the screens at home are just horrified, as Kobe said, "I thought his father must have been Dragon as well, since Luffy said they're brothers." And Hamappa would say, "Well, clearly they're not brothers. It can't be, unless Luffy's..." No. Moria, who was present, would then laugh. His bloodline still carried on, huh? Almost everyone affiliated with Roger was executed. "I can't believe he and Luffy aren't really brothers," Boa thought. And Sengoku said, "Even Whitebeard soon came to learn of who you were, and that was probably why he was trying to raise you into the next Pirate King. That's what I assume. And your so-called brother, Straw Hat, is nothing more than just a fake bond attached to you." "Shut up. What do you know about Luffy, huh?" "See, that right there. Because of your little brother and Whitebeard, we haven't been able to touch you, so you can act however you want. For a while, we thought that maybe he would have been the Pirate King's son, but no. His father is much, much worse." Hearing this puts them on the edge of their seats. Their figurative, you get what I'm trying to say. And Ace gains a look of horror, and he tells him to stop. However, as he's about to say the truth about Luffy, a Marine from below alerts him. Sir, this is urgent." "What?" asked Sengoku. "The gates of justice were just destroyed by Straw Hat. Straw Hat is here." As Sengoku panics, he will then go to yell into the transponder, and everyone sees his worry, but then someone yells a name. "Ace!" From the seas rise the Moby Dick and many more pirate ships belonging to the Whitebeard Pirates, who would then step up, and Luffy would be beside Whitebeard himself, as Whitebeard would say, "Hello, my son." "Ace, I made it," said Luffy. Akainu would say, "So both those guys are here. We should have seen this coming." Holding his hand to the side, Whitebeard cracks the air. Meanwhile, Luffy holds his right hand out, and Bell would form. "Oh, this is going to be so much fun," she would say, as she would then combine with Luffy, and for the first time, he would showcase to everyone he and Bell's full potential. Well, part of it. And he would say, "Partial spirit assimilation, spirit dive." He cracked the air? And what is that form? They be talking about Luffy and Whitebeard, and Whitebeard's powers would cause multiple explosions and sea quakes already that would rock the other boats and marine ships. Meanwhile, Luffy would hold his hand out, forming his arm cannon thing, you know, the thing that Yuno forms, and he will release a massive spirit storm. And as his attacks near the Marines, Sengoku would move and appear right before everyone as he takes his Buddha form and he palm strikes the attack, and he and Luffy will begin to clash, and they be going back and forth, a power struggle. Wow, so Sengoku, wait, is he gonna be a... Sengoku at that moment is then pushed back as all the Marines are sent flying, and this struck fear into the hearts of the Marines, just as Ace would then smile, and Marco would arise in his Phoenix form, saying, "You gotta rally, little brother, Ace. Attack!" The Vice Admirals would then attack, as would Whitebeard's men, with Luffy then blasting off right towards Ace, when he's then met by a giant Vice Admiral, and he would then blow him away with the Wind Blast with ease, as he would then say, "Gear 3rd, Spirit Dive." This blast would then lift the giant into the sky before he then started to fall back down, and as he crashed, Whitebeard at that moment would then flood the headquarters with gigantic waves coming from the ocean. And as the pirate left, however, everything is frozen by Aokiji in an instant, just as Kizaru would then appear and meet Luffy with a huge kick, imbued with not only light but also haki. Luffy would meet this attack with his own kick, and once again, this sends out sparks of lightning, as Luffy would say, "Get the hell out of my way. Fat chance, I'm trying for real this time." Luffy at this moment would then redirect all the wind from his kick, and instantly he would pierce Kizaru's stomach for real, leaving all those present shocked, and he would say, "Yeah, didn't expect that, did you?" Sengoku at this point would then get up saying, execute him now." He would point to Ace as Luffy would then yell his name, and the executioners would raise their weapons into the air and go to stab him, and Luffy would move fast, only to be met by a huge fist of magma. But in that instant, moving faster than he ever had, reaching light speed and becoming light itself essentially, he would appear on the other side, piercing Akainu's attack, leaving all those present shocked. "Damn it, I lost my momentum," said Luffy. Reaching out his hand, he finds that the executioners are about to kill his brother, and he cannot reach them, leaving him and all the Whitebeard pirates horrified. Meanwhile, the whole world will be happy to get rid of his filth from the world, but instead of looking sad, Ace looks to Luffy and smiles. "You're not gonna give up that easily, are you?" These words would manage to reach Luffy just as they strike, but their weapons shatter as they instead hit the ground, and from all over the world, everyone witnesses as a star takes the place of Ace. Where the captured man stood now was a real-life star, a 3D looking star, and another star appears beside Luffy, and this teleports Ace right by his side, and he would catch him, as Sengoku would say, "Impossible, another awakening?" There is a sort of silence that sets in as everyone tries to take in what is going on, and Luffy cannot believe it either, but he said, "Ace, what did I just do?" "Yeah, how did you do that?" asked Ace. Luffy doesn't know, and from above, a flashing light would blind them all, and all the Marines were in a state of complete shock, having already been on the horrible end of this battle that just started, but they felt as though things were about to get even worse, and as this blinding light passes from the sky, it forms another grimoire, which then stops in front of Luffy, and he would have another 4-leaf clover grimoire. Its color pattern, however, was yellow and white, and the pages of the book begin to flip, and Luffy gains a realization as he holds his hand out, and he swipes forward, causing the star, still at the platform, to release a horizontal attack that would rip through the Navy headquarters, causing the admirals to jump out from their seats, and when they look back, Aokiji and Akainu would notice. "That kind of power," said Aokiji. Akainu would say, "Impossible," as Luffy had not only cut through the building, but through everything behind it. It was as if he was cutting through space itself. "Everyone get him! Get him now! Straw Hat Luffy has just gained another awakening," yelled Sengoku, and the star from below then faced to nothing, as Luffy would then smile, saying, "Hey Ace, wanna see more uses of my star magic?" "Yeah, sure. Seriously, what the hell? I was just trying to motivate him, but damn, well, I guess as expected of my little brother," thought Ace. Holding out his hand, Luffy would then summon a star staff and screams for everyone to come at him, just as he would then blast back towards the Whitebeard ship, and from behind him then comes a shockwave from Sengoku. As Jozu is about to jump in and stop the attack, however, Luffy would then wave his staff, and a blinding light would then cut through the attack, reaching Sengoku down below, whose torso and face would explode with one giant cut, along with the ice below him splitting entirely. "What the hell is with that bastard? How is he doing that?" thought Luffy. In that instant, it was as if Luffy was on top of the world, and if anything, he didn't notice it himself, but he gained another grimoire, but also gained a big smile, akin to the one that he would have had he unlocked the form of Nika. But then he found himself surrounded by multiple icebergs that would be coming at him at fast speeds, but holding his hand out, he would say conjunction, as he would copy Trafalgar's movements, and all the icebergs disappear, with 2 stars taking their place, and 1 star appears behind Aokiji, as he's then crushed by his own barrage that was teleported back to him by Luffy while still having the same momentum. he's switching their places using those stars, thought Jinbei. Luckily, Aokiji is still an ice human, so he does rise from the rubble of the glaciers with relative ease, but at that moment, instantly he's attacked by Marco, who comes at him with a drop kick, and using an ice saber, he blocks it, as Marco would say, man, this is just not your day, is it? Luffy, meanwhile, comes to a stop, and he finally comes to land down. When he would let down Ace, instantly Eva, Jinbei, and Bon run to him, as they would ask, what the hell is going on? I don't know either, screams Luffy. What? Luffy then looks at both his grimoires and realizes this must have been the other power he used at Water 7, but much like everyone, he was confused about it. But it just came to him, he can't explain it. Everything is just inscribed in his mind now. From behind, he would then hear laughing and turn to see Ace meeting back with some of his crew, and they were sharing a hug and just be thanking Luffy for getting him back. And Luffy would say, oh yeah, no problem. He would then exit Spirit Dive, and Belle would then form, being shocked at the battle happening around her. It was a literal full-on war. People were striking, cutting each other apart, and like just fighting. But Luffy would pat her, saying, hey, it's okay. And Eva would then say, so this is the so-called vengeful spirit. She's adorable. Ah, thank you, Belle would say. And as she begins to be embarrassed, Luffy would then ask, so this is it, right? It's called Star Magic. Is this what I used? Yep, but you won't be getting another spirit. It's highly unlikely, said Belle. I heard you erected a strange barrier over Water 7. Are you referring to that? Asked Jinbei. Luffy nods in response, as Ace would then say, I don't know why they're still worried over me when you just did all of that crap. Luffy would then say, well, I'm just glad this is over. He and everyone then become overshadowed by a combined attack from both Akainu and Aokiji, who enhance it with Haki, but Luffy summons a star as he then teleports himself and everyone to the Moby Dick, and they appear right under a star by the gigantic Whitebeard. The attack would then hit down below and blow away a bunch of people, but clearly the admirals weren't fast enough, as Ace would then say, Pops, and Whitebeard would smile, saying, welcome back, my son. He would then begin to laugh with the likes of Bon being shot at who was standing before him, and Belle would then fly up to Whitebeard. Wow, you're huge. Are you a giant? Hey, don't just talk to Pops however you want. You might be cute, but that's not going to excuse you, said the Whitebeard Pirates. And Whitebeard, however, would say, it's fine. And who might you be, little missy? I'm the wind spirit, Belle. Definitely fits much better than the vengeful spirit. Belle would say, I really need to get that changed. Wow, there's another one, says Belle, and from behind them walks out another gigantic creature, who would then wave to Ace, and this would be Oars, as Ace would then wave back, and he would say, don't ever do something like this again. Sorry, and seriously, thank you for coming. I should have listened. Bit late for that, don't you think, said Luffy, as he would then point to the raging battle down below, with him then nervously saying, yeah, can you heal me up? I want to join in. What do you mean join in? We're leaving, you idiot, said Luffy. Don't call your older brother an idiot. My older brother got caught by Marines. I can make a little fun of you. Looks like you're getting too famous for your own britches, huh, said Ace. As the two start to bicker, everyone is left in a daze thinking only they would do this type of crazy shit in front of like such a serious type of thing. Like this is a war going on. And this makes the giant Whitebeard burst into laughter, catching everyone's attention as he would then yell, all you idiots get back here, there's nothing left to do. Hearing all of this from their captain, they start to move back to the Moby Dick, but instantly find themselves teleported to the deck, and as they look up, a shining star was above each and every one of them before it then faded. And as the Marines attack, more and more pirates will be transported back to Luffy, who would be in a deep concentrational state, and he moves them to the Moby Dick, like in any of the Whitebeard ships. And this one he would ask, sorry, can you keep a lookout, Whitebeard? Hearing him talk so brazenly to an emperor left them all frozen, not knowing what will happen next, because Whitebeard will not just do anything for everyone. As nice as he might be, he's only nice to his family. He is still full of pride. Order me around. You got some nerve, kid. Or you could just let your children die. That's an option, said Luffy. Man, this guy does not give a damn, everyone thought. Whitebeard would then pull back his fist and cause a crack yet again that would then start to rumble the entire headquarters, and as he does, he begins to feel something actually helping him, and he turns to see Belle as she'll be invigorating him with energy, healing him, and Ace would say, Pops? They all then notice Whitebeard being strengthened up. Whitebeard himself starts to bulge with muscles, and he would then smile as he drags the crack towards the Navy, causing a massive eruption to occur as he obliterates everything in sight that was left behind, and this leaves all the Marines near death, and the admirals and warlords barely escape the danger, with Luffy just managing to get Boa to appear right by him in time. Empress Boa? Why did he bring her here? Much to the surprise of everyone, Boa with a look of embarrassment then says that she's happy to see Luffy again, and he says ditto. Just what the hell have you been doing? Asked Ace. Trying to save you, said Luffy. You've definitely been doing way more than that, said Eva. With these words, Whitebeard's quakes come to a stop, and they start to quickly retreat, and they have gotten back everyone they needed, and they got Buggy as well. He's on another ship, and Luffy opens his eyes as he would breathe a sigh of relief, and he would say, yeah, that's gonna take some getting used to. I'm not out of mana, though. He at this moment then starts to be startled by cheers, and all the Whitebeard Pirates would just cheer for this occasion, and they're happy that Luffy brought back all their crewmates and all that, and Whitebeard would say, let's go back to the seas. They all cheer yes, as Luffy would then wave to the sails and hit them with some wind, and all the Whitebeard ships would be hit with wind as they start to leave. And as they are, the Navy headquarters was completely ruined, as the people would just be left devastated, and the broadcast is ended, and the battle ended so quickly that everyone now knew of Luffy's power and how his presence and new power was going to make him more of an enemy, not to the world government, but just the whole world. Sengoku, despite being hurt, however, walks to the execution platform as he would see Garp trying to help up the likes of Kobe and other Marines and his men in general. So you chose the easy way out. Well, I won't let this just end like that, thought Sengoku. While the people will now be oblivious to Luffy's identity for a while, he was going to tell his men and the Marines, Straw Hat Luffy is the son of Monkey D. Dragon, the revolutionary. He must be hunted down at all costs. Etch this moment into your minds. We will get back our revenge. Even Roger has never shook up the Marines this much. However, these words only slightly terrify the Marines, who still see admirals like Kizaru, who still hasn't gotten enough from Luffy's blow, and they're completely demoralized. But now they knew the truth, and gritting their teeth, they wanted to get stronger, to get back their brethren they had lost, or at least fight for them. As short as this battle was, in short, it was a brutal war that they ultimately lost, and they would have to make up for that later. On the Moby Dick, however, things were tense. No matter if Luffy had just helped them, he was still an enemy to Whitebeard, who didn't quite know the kitty yet. And as the Emperor stare each other down, they throw murderous gazes at each other, when Bo would then stand in front of Luffy. Who gave you permission to look at him like that? Little missy? Move it, said Whitebeard. Getting angry, Bo goes to say something when Ace would then say to stop. That message you wanted me to deliver? Yeah, I did it, Luffy. You sure you can handle the consequences? Man, why do you have to always fight everyone, yells Bell. When would I have any other opportunity to face off against Newgate? Besides, you healed him, didn't you? Jimbo would say yes, but his illness is still intact, Straw Hat. Ace, however, would cut him off, saying no. Luffy can't heal intricate stuff, but when it comes to stuff like what Pops has, it's already gone. How do you feel? Hearing this, they all left at a loss for words, as Whitebeard would then start to move around, flex his muscles, and he notices that he wasn't even having trouble breathing like before. He does not need to be hooked up to any IV or nothing. What are you getting at, boy? Asked Whitebeard. Luffy then points to Bell, saying, thank her, not me. I never said for her to do anything. As all the attention turns to the ferry, the crew cannot believe what they're hearing. Then that means, Pops, you're really back? Just for the day. We party. Next time we meet, I won't give you the same mercy, said Whitebeard. Yeah, sure, you can have all the power in the world, but I got something new. Let's talk over some booze, though. That sounds way more fun, said Luffy. Coming up to Luffy, Ace would then grab him by the head, thanking him. Luffy would say it's no problem, but as he looks up, he sees his big brother was now full of tears. Man, you've gotten so much whinier. Maybe, says Ace. The crew then erupts with cheers, and they start to thank Bell, who would be so embarrassed that she hides behind Luffy, saying, I just didn't want him to get hurt. They only find this more adorable, however, but these words would sting the ears of Sanji, who was far off, and he feels like someone was disrespecting his name, And he would think, probably that damn mosshead. And he continued to walk on a frozen island, which he had Luffy drop him off at. So he soon reached the cave while walking, and he set up this cave in the past few days he was here, and he sits down smiling as he thought of how much fun it would be to be back with everyone else right now, but he had a duty. Well, time to get to training. Standing, he would then take off his shoes, and he walks into the blizzard and sinks his feet deep into the snow. And standing still, he feels the numbness of the cold overtake him, and the feeling that even the slightest touch could make him crumble. Looking off to the sky, he cannot wait to see what dishes he would serve his crew, but for now, he had to get stronger, way stronger. Meanwhile, a party will be occurring on the Moby Dick and the other ships belonging to the Whitebeard Pirates, as Luffy actually wouldn't even be partying. He did have a few drinks and stuff, but he would be flying beside the Moby Dick as he would be checking his grimoire over and over, seeing his new spells. Ace then runs to the edge of the boat. Hey Luffy, don't you want to come enjoy the party? Also, that woman is gonna try something, I swear, you gotta be here. Smiling, Luffy will then yell conjunction as he then summons a star by Ace, and he teleports there as he lands, and everyone still isn't used to that. From his sitting place, Whitebeard will then slam down his cup, asking, where'd you learn those tricks? As Luffy goes to answer, he walks and sits by Boba, who was seen by her snake, and she would be thinking, oh my god, he's so close, and she's going into a panic attack mode. And Luffy then answers, like I said, I have no idea. Truth be told, my powers shouldn't exist. Neither of these grimoires should either, but like I always say, don't think about it too much. Then how does that work, if you don't mind me asking? Asked Marco. And Luffy would say, nature Mana, more specifically, the power comes from nature. It's called mana. It's what lets me use my magic. Whitebeard would laugh. You want me to believe in magic, kid? How else would you describe this, Luffy would say, as he summons his star staff and he swings upward as a blinding light would rip through and part the clouds in the sky all the way in an instant, and everyone is left at a loss for words. Man, he really is an emperor. He did that with a flick. I guess that is the only way, said Whitebeard. It doesn't exactly fit your name, though. Yeah, well, I never asked for the will of D either. Oh, speaking of D, would a killing Teach cause a fight? You killed him? asked Whitebeard. Ace then looks to Luffy, who nods, and this is when Luffy would say, he's gotta be stupid. Why the hell would a devil fruit affect me anyway? Who's this Teach guy, Luffy? asked Eva. He was one of us, said Juzo, but he went rogue. Killed our head chef. Ace been hunting him for a while now. Well, not anymore. Thanks for covering my ass, said Ace. Yeah, no problem, said Luffy. The ride then continues with Whitebeard then saying this time he's letting Luffy go, but next time they meet, they're throwing hands. Like, they're gonna kill each other. Yeah, they're going crazy. This means Eva, Jinbei, Boa, and Bon stay with him. Buggy's gonna be dropped off somewhere else. He's lucky that he's not dying already. If it wasn't for Luffy, he'd be dead. But very soon, Rayleigh would arrive by shipwreck, and he would ask Luffy to have a moment in the forest. As they go to the forest, Rayleigh would say, so you split up? How did you know that? asked Luffy. I just do, and if they're getting stronger, why don't you? Want to become a student? Luffy asks if he's being serious, and the Dark King says, why not? The whole world saw you out there. If you want to become Pirate King, then you need to master Haki. Haki trumps all. The Emperor of the Sea then takes a moment, and a few moments pass, as we then cut to Boa sitting on her snake, as she then asks Eva why Rayleigh was even here. I can never tell what that man is thinking. Best case scenario, he wanted to become a student, said Luffy, as he cut him off and walked out, and he said that he agreed to his offer to become his student. With a smile, he said he was going to be gone for a while. You're staying here? asked Jinbei. Yeah, I'm surprised you're still here. I thought you want to stay with Whitebeard, said Luffy. This is when Jinbei would actually say, you are one of the few rare humans in this world who doesn't fear my race. If you would accept me, I'd like to join your crew. This declaration comes as a surprise to all of them because it means that he would have a powerful Yonko level man with him. And Luffy of course agrees, as he would then say, you're going to have to wait a while though. We meet back up at Sabaody. Until then, you're free to visit. All of you are. Well, Uncle Eva has to go home, but he'll send letters. I have some business to take care of before I join as well, said Jinbei. As you know, I am currently with Big Mom. It may take a while to pay back my debts, but once I do, I will join you. If she causes you any trouble, just call me and I'll come to Geek Island myself. As this laugh continues, Jinbei honestly believes at this point that he could easily body and topple Big Mom, so he takes those words to heart and from inside the forest really watches as he smiles. I think the guy you were looking for is here. Unfortunately, he's not your son, Roger. Fortunately, he seems to have inherited your will. Time skip 2 years. From a dangerous forest far off somewhere in the Grand Line, the sound of wild animals and their roars are heard, and we then cut to the shore as out walks a 19-year-old Luffy. As he looks to the sky, he would smile and breathe in some fresh air before then holding his right hand out, and his star magic would fly to him at his side, and a small star would form in the palm of his hand before he then releases a blinding light that instantly splits the sea, causing the island itself to shake. The seas rise and rise to stupendous heights, while the attack simply keeps going and going until it hits a random island, and as soon as it does, the island explodes to pieces. Rayleigh then runs out from the forest and sees this and is left stupefied. You woke up to do this? He asks. It's like 7 a.m., kid. Luffy will then turn as he starts walking back, and the waves crash back into each other and refill the sea, and he would apologize. Just want to make sure I'm not getting rusty, you know? Yeah, you getting rusty? Quit pulling my leg. Come on. It's almost time. Do you want to meet your crew, asked Rayleigh. Yeah, I can't wait to see how much they've done for themselves. We will bring this part to an end here. Thank y'all so much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the Dragon Ball Z game I put in the background. I think that's much better. That's just my opinion. If you think it's not, ask me what I should put in there. Should I put the Jump Force one back? I honestly think that's just, it's literally a loop I put on there. So I tried to find this one, and it's actually a continual story, so y'all can re-enjoy the Dragon Ball story. If some of y'all like Dragon Ball, then you're gonna love it. I don't know why I'm still talking about that. Anyway, I hope you really enjoyed this part. I had Luffy unlock his true potential. Some people wanted me to do it after he met Kaido, but bro, I have been making this nigga use every conceivable spell of wind magic for 12 parts. That shit is gonna get boring so god fast. You don't even know, bro. I don't think I can like make it as ingenious or as fun. So I tried to add in the Star Magic, because I think it's just better. I think it's better that way. Regardless, the series is gonna get more crazy from now on, because after the Strats get their power ups, y'all are just not gonna see Luffy do as much. His crew just gonna be trying their best to not make Luffy lift or do crap. They're just gonna be doing everything. But yeah, it's gonna be awesome. I think there's like at least 5 more parts still left in this series, because I want to be as thorough as I possibly can. I'm not trying to rush this, and I know y'all still gonna watch it, so keep watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.
This ain't what you want, bitch, I'm a fucking phenomenon.